Many games enjoy eternal adoration. Many others find themselves in Metacritic's eternal damnation. In this series, the tortured souls of games that found their way to a red Metascore of 49 out of 100 or less are given a final chance for gaming salvation. Following this review, will today's game be given a chance of Ascension, or forever languish in Metacritic detention? This is Ascension or Detention. Welcome friends! Today's game dueling for the depths of the digitised dungeon is Sniper Art of Victory for the PC. This game was released worldwide on October the 16th, 2008 solely for the PC and was both produced and published by City Interactive Software. As of the making of this video, Sniper Art of Victory sits at a laceratingly woeful Metascore of 36, with the public showing it an equal amount of contempt with an average user score of 3.2 out of 10. The public comments are far better considered this time around, although the vast majority are extremely negative regarding their experience. City Interactive continues to belch out games to this day, having formed a large portfolio of budget games, mostly aimed at the adventure genre. They were also responsible for the mostly mediocre Sniper Ghost Warrior series on the 7th and 8th generation of games consoles. Although Sniper Art of Victory was sold at the pocket-pleasing price of £9.99 back in 2008, I have never ascribed to the notion that cheaper games make for worse experiences. Indeed, companies like EA have made the absolute opposite of this true with their annual lazy, rehashed sports titles that are full-priced, 90% recycled, derisory cash grabs that have surprise mechanics indignantly shoehorned in. As a comparison to this game, Sniper Elite, produced by Rebellion Developments back in 2005, showed that this genre of game was well received and had a promising future. Was Sniper Art of Victory a worthwhile addition to this genre, or just another hastily cobbled together mess for the sake of a quick buck? Well, let's find out. With this game having a World War II theme to it, I'd hope to see a compelling story that enshrines the struggles, bravery and determination of the lead protagonist, and their noble quest to push back against their oppressors. Well, having looked at the mission screens before all 8 missions, the waste of paper included in the game box, and all the cutscenes, I am certain of exactly 2 facts. The first being that you are part of the Red Army pushing back against the German advance, and that the protagonist is a sniper. That's it. The story on offer is bewildering and opaque to a whole new level of consciousness, as the intro cutscene and manual only offer woolly overviews of the Second World War. The remainder of the cutscenes and mission screens only describe what you are tasked to do, and we don't even get to know the name of our long-range lunatic cretin of a marksman. This game makes an art form of introducing people and organisations without a scrap of context at the drop of a hat, and then promptly bins them without a second's notice. Who are the TASS News Agency, or the KPZR? Who are Major Shuchariev, or General Fritz von Hoff? Who's this arsehole? Which one of these arseholes is actually talking here? No? Nothing? What chance do we have of understanding this incoherent dross when the game itself doesn't have a bloody clue? To cap off this crazed and psychotic story, your mystery asshat of a protagonist attacks a random fort in the middle of nowhere and calls in an airstrike. And I quote, "so as to not leave any traces of our action." Really? Well, I'm sure that the sight of a recently bombed fort, along with ear-shredding explosions, might trigger a flicker of a response from the enemy, but knowing the quality of the AI in this game, it'll either be a frenzied response, or most likely, nothing at all. The final cutscene is yet another pointless overview of the conflict, and might as well have come from any other game. Calling this vomitudinous, deranged, incoherent and incomprehensible sick bucket of random words a story would be insulting to every piece of written media ever produced in the history of mankind. It is truly staggering just how utterly ranted this pathetic story is. Now we're suitably scarred by that linguistic poison of a story, we can turn our attention to the game itself and find new ways of bringing what's left of our sanity to the brink. Looking at the title screen and pre-mission briefings, the game doesn't look too unattractive, but once you start, the quality of everything visual nosedives into Satan's wine cellar, situated 3 layers beneath the bowels of Hades. Well, granted, a war zone isn't going to be a bright and cheerful theme park, but some bright spark at City Interactive won the Knobhead Employee of the Month award by using a colour palette that can only be described as sepia diarrhea. Not only is every single visual aspect marred by horrible colours, terrible textures, dreadful character models and utterly hopeless animations, but all the level designs and atmospheres demand a whole new level of incredulity. Here is the iconic Siege of Stalingrad, boiled down to about 20 or so items in an otherwise desolate city. It's amazing just how little there is to get immersed with, while the story tries to command such gravitas. Overall, even by 2008 standards, the visuals are stratospherically pig ugly, horrendously implemented and just utterly lacking in every conceivable aspect. So far, the shambolic story has made me break out in hives, and the graphics made me envy the blind. Perhaps there's something to be happy with amongst the sound choices on offer, seeing as we're scraping the veneer off the bottom of the barrel with our faces right now. Well, I wasn't prepared for a pleasant surprise like this. The music is suitably orchestral, ominous, and tries to put together a good atmosphere even though all the other elements let it down so dismally. The sound effects are appropriate and effective, but they certainly have a pinch from a sound archive feel about them. At this point, my temperament calmed down from Hulk smash to irate kitten levels, as I was suddenly surrounded by something at least semi-competent. That was until our idiotic mystery gunsmith opened his mouth and proceeded to prove that pure liquid effluent can come out of more than one human orifice. Please, allow me to demonstrate.
There has to be an enemy sniper in the vicinity. I can't allow them to alarm the others. Oh, right, I made it. Now I need to get the AK guns.
Oh no! The Germans set off too early. You must try to shoot the explosives. It's our only chance to stop them. Damn it! They've escaped.
It is beyond the realms of comprehension just how badly the game's dialogue is voiced. I would expect a better performance out of an unprogrammed hologram. Including the times where the voice actor deviates from the on-screen narrative, every single line is butchered without exception. These horrendous performances are stripped of nuance, devoid of appropriate emotion, contrived, and delivered with such incompetence it would be justified to think it was an act of willful mendacity. So far, the story is toxic waste, the graphics are muddy puddles of anguish, and the voice acting can strip the bark off a tree. Right now, this game has one final chance to rise like a phoenix from the ashes of total failure, with the crucial part of any gaming experience, the gameplay. However, in this regard, Sniper Art of Victory is like a world-class footballer that defeats several defenders before proudly smashing the ball at full force into the back of his own team's net. The very essence of this game is that you are one of the hidden marksmen shooting with deadly precision, armed with accurate sniper rifles. And this game has managed to find new and innovative ways of demolishing this very premise. For a start, moving your character is a prepondering, lumpy and aggravating undertaking, as the game treats your main character like a poorly maintained car. If you're running forwards and you want to suddenly go backwards, your character will slow to a stop and then begin to move backwards. It's as if the game's Chrome Engine 2 was designed for driving games. Wait, what? It was? You're joking! Oh, kill me. Onto the sniping itself, and the screeching lunatic frustration it provides. For a start, the heart monitor is complete bollocks, as your idiotic bullet flinger has exactly 3 states of breathing. At 144 beats per minute, it'll look like he's having a combination of an asthma attack and an epileptic fit. At about 5 seconds later, it'll drop to 122 beats per minute, allowing you to contemplate firing, and most likely missing your target. If you hold your breath at this stage, your heart rate will drop down to 100 beats per minute, allowing for a much more accurate shot. At this point, you'll have a 5-second window to complete your shot, otherwise your protagonist's lungs will implode, and you're thrown back to the beginning of the whole asinine process. Essentially, holding your breath turns on any meaningful accuracy with the sniper, and this alone creates a dismal, jarring experience. The enemy AI in this game is as cheap and lazy as it gets. Seeing as you can only fire off a single accurate shot whilst you're in your zen mode, before your wheezing, serial incompetent pseudo-marksman climbs back onto his bucking bronco, having two enemies walking together is a death knell to any notion of playing this outlandish crap in a stealthy manner. The enemies have exactly two states of awareness: complete ignorance or immediate all-out attack. There is no way of picking off a target without every other enemy within 200 yards suddenly going into an insane bloodlust frenzy, shortly followed by you being shot 47 times in the head through the same bullet hole. Well, I'm sure I could snipe one of the targets and then hip fire using another weapon to take out the second target, can't I? Wrong. Any weapon you can't hold your breath with, which is the entire remainder of the weapons in this bloody ridiculous game, are entirely useless. It must be seen to be believed just how inaccurate every other weapon is. Just look at this rocket launcher and how it dances around its target without any movement input from your character. Well, it comes to something when the safest place for an enemy to stand is right in front of your damn reticule. Look at this machine gun and the sheer number of bullets you waste before it decides on a whim that the next bullet will bother to work. It's a good job I was using the power of cheating at this point, because the usual method of acquiring guns is from fallen enemies that had the foresight to only carry 3 bullets in case they were murdered whilst they were out on their patrols. You can ignore the outright lies in the manual about finding guns in the stages. They do not exist. Do you want an ammo refill for your newly acquired weapon? Tough luck. Pick up another gun and hope it has more than 3 bullets in it this time. For some insane bloody reason, the ammo doesn't accumulate, meaning you have to keep the gun with the most bullets already in it. Once those run out, go and fetch another gun. Picking up multiple guns to get bullets to use is the most backward mechanic I have ever had the dismal privilege of experiencing. After playing through 8 missions of this torture, it's a perfect time to reflect on this bone-shattering experience as I decide whether this game will receive Ascension or be forever confined to Metacritic detention. Sniper Art of Victory is a dysfunctional, contemptible, loathsome and heinous money-scrounging disgrace of a game. Besides a few pleasant sounds, and music most likely taken straight from a stock asset library, every other element of this game's plot, sound, graphics and gameplay are truly despicable. This tacitly stands alone as the worst first-person shooter game I have ever had the virulent displeasure of playing. To a sum total of 0 surprise to anyone, I gleefully condemn Sniper Art of Victory to infinity squared years of Metacritic detention. Here is my Metacritic review, and my contribution towards this game's permanent incarceration in Metacritic detention. Until next time on Ascension or Detention, goodbye friends.